in order for us to really get right, like Christ said, no man put new wine into old bottles. You got to put new wine into new bottles. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take all this information we learned being over in this slavery, and we got to pour all that shit out. And then we got to start over. And the foundation of black people starts with brotherhood and sisterhood. When I say brotherhood, it encompasses sisterhood as well. Family, if you want to say one word. We have to have compassion, number one, which black people don't have, and prioritize. Like, we have to, like, I'll use this word, but I'm using it loosely because we really don't have the power to be this, but we have to be racist. Racist in a sense, like, we've been in a state of emergency since we've been over here in America, but we've been seduced so much that we don't think we're in a state of emergency. So we'll see the killings or whatever, and then a day or two will go by, and then we'll forget about it. And then we go right back to business as usual. The black man and black woman has to be the #1 priority until we are out of this situation. That's why, although I'm fine, like I'm fine, my family's fine, my children's fine or whatever, but because my people are not fine, I can't stay in the house. I have to come outside. So I agree with you when you say what you said, but we have to start there. It's almost like we gotta have levels. We ain't ready to be, like we always want to talk about these economics or whatever like that, but we ain't ready to be a brother to a brother to be able to deal with him righteously in his economics. That's why every time somebody deal with a brother, what you always hear? He stole his money from him. He stole that money from him. Because if you don't look at him as a brother, but look at him as a Vic, it'll never change. So that's when you say we learn from that's when we learn from the white man. Like the white man, the white man came over here with the Native Indians, pretended to be a brother, made all treaties, made all these type of deals with them, and then what happened once he got the shit? He took it and killed them.
And gave us a Bible too.
That's what we learned.
Right along.
That's what we learned, and that's what we learned from the white man. We learned from the white man. The white man didn't get that from the Bible. We learned from the white man is to take advantage of anybody for my own means. The Bible would say, love thy brother as thyself. So I wouldn't want nobody to take advantage of me, so I'm not going to take advantage of that.
Point made.
This is the last question.
Nah, come on, man.
Yeah, this is the last one. I got the roll.
They got real work to do.
I kind of have a little question, because I just heard this king just mention something really that really makes sense. So basically, how come a 10% of the world population, the white man, is controlling everybody? You go to Africa, we have the same problem. You go to London, we got the same problem. You go to America, we got the same problem. I'm African, but when the police pull me over, I'm scared to death. The same too. So what's the problem?
African.
And basically, I think there is something more important that we should focus than religion. We should come together first to be one and should face the enemy. But I see what I just heard from here is like division. I believe in this, you believe in that, you're not my brother. But I think we got something more important. Why can't we just come together? Like in Africa, they teach us about the black men in America, like the white men still. Gangster movie, prostitution, guns, everything. Of course we're scared. The first time I got in America, I was scared.
Why
the
was
black
you scared?
Because what they show us on TV.
They make us look like monsters.
Yeah, that's what they show us. Like gangsters, like American black people are killers. So that's not my fault.
And they teach us the same thing about you. Hold on, let
that's the same thing. So what it is, division to conquer, right? So divide to conquer. So we gotta come together to fix our problems, to know what's right and what's wrong. So basically, that's what I had to say.
Peace. Okay. They teach the same
I'll
thing
give the
about
response to that.
All right.
White man is enemy to everybody, not just Africans, blacks in America. He's also an enemy with the Arabs. They just bombed Syria. He's an enemy with them. What I would suggest is you take your African brothers, y'all come together and deal with y'all problems. We take our brothers and we deal with our problems. Africans always like to say that Africans want to be joined together, but when the Haitians wanted to join Africa, Africa denied it.
They did reverse that. You're aware of that, correct?
They could have reversed it.
They did. They did. They are now part of the African Union as of now.
You gotta show me that one.
Yes. Yes. It was reversed.
From what I know.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Let them finish.
Until I find otherwise, I'm not sure of that. So when it comes to this so-called unity, on an individual basis, you may find an African brother that wants to be unified with black people. But as a whole, Africans don't. That's why I use the Haitians and the Africans as an example. For black people in America, even with what the Africans said, I never hear of Africans being profiled, ever. I never hear of Africans being shot. Maybe one. That's one. But when you think of the 100 and something brothers that done got killed this year in America, they're all can't be concerned with a whole other continent. That's your continent. That's not. Okay, where at over there? Where over in Africa?
South Africa.
That whole, where?
South Africa.
How many countries in South Africa?
South Africa.
How many countries are in South Africa? This is what I mean when I say, I just said we have to prioritize us. And y'all already taking me over to another country. This is the problem. It's not.
Melanin born people.
Hold on.
Oh shit, you got him stirred up. You got him stirred up.
Right now. So now I gotta be worried about South Africa. I can't worry about Harlem no more. Because now I gotta focus on South Africa. What are you saying?
Let Larry get the mic. No, I don't want the mic. Tazaryach. Answer this brother. He's trying to engage you, right? He brought the top. I understand, but what I'm saying is he brought.
You should tell them to be quiet.
I'm not telling him to be quiet. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you back on track.
Right, that's all.
Damn, brother.
I just want to add something into it. Like what we're talking about, we should worry about it here. There is no here. It's only Africa. Chinese people, why they not worrying about their issue? Nobody is profiling them. Because they got a home base. Yeah. They got something that if somebody got killed here, the China president gonna call and say, hey, I gotta watch out. Because they got a home. Why African people don't have power? Because we don't have a home base. That's the only problem. Land base, we don't have a land base, sir.
It's not my fault the deal is not made with the white man fucked y'all over. Because I didn't hear that. I didn't hear none of that shit when slaves was being sold to the white man. It's like the white man coming to me now saying, this, what he's saying is no different than the white man saying, well, I wasn't back then, because that's what his response going to be. Well, those was my ancestors. But we got to get along now. How can I get along with somebody that had a hand in what happened to me? I can't get mad. Excuse me. I can't feel compassion for you.
For who?
That's what they told. That's what they told you.
Let him finish.
When you talk, I'm quiet. When I talk, I'm quiet. No problem. I can't feel compassion for what y'all going through now. Because where was the compassion when my ancestors was going through what we was going through at the hands of your people? Your people are the reason why there are blacks in this condition in America. And now you want me to feel sorry for South Africa, West Africa, or any other part of Africa? Fuck them. Where was the love for us when we was in chains? Our babies is killed, hung, lynched. Where the graves of our slaves at? You can't even fucking find them because of what y'all did. And now I'm supposed to be like, well, I gotta care about Africa now. Let me worry about, man, fuck Africa. They can kiss my ass. Black people are who I love, who I would stand with. And when they get in their position of power, then maybe we can talk and say, well, what type of deals we can make? Y'all fucked up y'all deal. Yo, you should get mad at your ancestors for whatever deal they made with the white Europeans when they sold us, and knowing the white man was gonna renege, go talk to them. Don't talk to me and now you want me to fight your fight? The brothers is in the military. You know it's probably brothers flying them drones and all that shit in the military right now, fighting the white man's fight against an enemy that's not his. Now you want me to fight for you when you're my enemy. So what about the
God damn.
I told we got the same problem. We both No, I'm not
wait.
I'm not saying that he don't.
Wait. I want him to speak to what he just said.
I'm not saying that you don't have a white man problem. But that's your fault. You made the deal. What y'all should have did, y'all should have stayed at war with him and never made a treaty with him. That's what you should have did. Why did you make a treaty with him to sell us?
Let him respond. Okay, brother, let me tell you something. I understand you're smart and you're bright, and I really appreciate this, what you're doing. And I really appreciate it, because this is better than being a gangster or something like that. But what you got in history about there is a treaty, that's wrong. That's not true. You heard about Shaka Zulu? What happened? They came to Africa trying to steal black people, African people, to bring them here. You heard about Lajor, you heard about Maba Jahoba, you heard about a lot of stuff. A lot of Africans was fighting about against the white man, because they're trying to steal some black people and bring them here. You're talking about treaties. Brother, no. That's not right. That's white man history. You have kingdoms. That's division. You have kingdoms without agreement. African people don't want y'all. They're slaves. Bro, you had kingdoms that held us. You're treating the black man and the white man.
Let me talk, y'all. Let me talk. Against the Portuguese, African tribes.
I want to clarify. I just want to clarify, right? I don't agree with Tazaryach's position, right? Your history needs to be brushed up on my young warlord brother, right? There was collaboration on the African side of the transatlantic slave trade and the trans-Saharan slave trade, right? There was collaboration from your people, warlord, from Mandinkas, from Fulahs, from when they began to be Islamicized. What happens is, right?
Because there it is.
What happens is, right? What happens is
Islam.
we become. No, I'm not. But what we become is we become the best Muslims. You understand? That's how you got Tuba, the synagogue, the holy city. We become proper Muslims, and then we look down on people that's kind of slipping. Like we have cultural fusion with the Islam. You know, we may still see the voodoo man, right? But we Muslims. We might still practice little this, but we Muslims. And that caused the division, that caused a lot of wars in Africa, brother, and a lot of slavery. And they did sell people to the white man. That's this reality.
So now, in closing,
Let him have the last question because he's been holding for a while.
I'm sorry, I didn't even see it.
I was gonna say, in terms of like what the brother was saying, based on like the treaties he was talking about with Africa, which there's truth to that. If you're a black person in America today, and what you got in your ID is you got a passport or you prescribe to American citizenship, you have basically signed a treaty too. No difference. But I'm gonna say this. Every group of individuals, every group of black folks have black devils amongst us. It's basic. And as many mentors and elders have said time and time again, we're righteous by birth, wicked by circumstance. So when you see brothers that have done what they've done, just like here in the hood, you could go, you could see it. Just like brothers in Africa, they're wicked by circumstance. When you look at the elevation of our people on the continent, when you look at what happened on the Nile, we had civilization across Africa. Khalid Muhammad said, the world is our home, Africa's our throne. We had civilizations across the planet. When you see what happened on the continent of Africa, what happened was, the Nile Valley, because it was water, folks started to go closer to the Nile River Valley. And what happened was the culmination of every degree of information that we had on the continent came together in what they call Kemet. So it was the highest, it was an elevation of civilization in Kemet. Because what we did was we unified every degree of information. When white folks came to Kemet, what they did was they started killing, pillaging, and disrupting the information. So you had brothers had to leave. Just like when you see refugees dip, they took one degree of information. Someone went to India and created yoga. They took one degree of information. Someone went to China and created Buddhism. They took one degree of information. Someone created the Israelites. They took one degree of information and they went someplace else. That's what happened. The only way we're going to get back to where we need to be is when we unify all of the degrees of information again. That's all they did. They divided all of the degrees of information. There's 300 degrees of information. If you identify yourself as one degree of information, that's when you stepped off the throne of God. That's when you stepped off the throne of God.
Baby.
And Dr. York taught that decades ago. Khalid Muhammad left. I'm just keeping it 100. I was in Virginia when Khalid Muhammad left Farrakhan because he was starting a new Black Panther Party, and they killed him and Dr. York the same year. Do the math in Georgia. Why? Because both of those black men was trying to unify us, but outside of the 1 degrees that folks is holding on to. You can never be a god and you holding on to 1 degree. You can never raise a queen and you holding on 1 degree. Pace. Yeah, that's what it is. You can't hold on to 1 degree.
Now I see why the Black Panther movie makes billions of dollars, and that Turner movie might have made 50, 60 million.
That says a lot.
Because we love fantasy more than we love reality. Like when you say Africa is our throne and our home and all that stuff is good, but the reality is, let's go for the sake of argument, Africa is going to be our home. Let's go for that argument. We ain't in Africa right now. We're here. We have to deal with this reality. Like Kemet has become Christianity. It's a fantasy world. So as long as I can hold on to that, like when he say them all coming together under one, Nubians fought against Commission and back
Can I
and
get
forth
the
like
last
that.
question? It's gonna be quick.
But that's not
Hold on, brother.
the same thing, Tazaryach.
Now, Captain
Just ask the
Tazaryach, you said that they didn't put Africans on the transatlantic slave trade. They put Hebrews on the slave trade, and they brought Hebrews over here. They wasn't African.
But I'm not.
Where can you prove that at? Where did you get that from?
Okay, I'll send you the website. You can just look up the names. You can look up the history. The same area of the map. In the beginning of this interview, I said on the map in Africa, it said land of Judah, and that same it said land of Judah. Within Africa, it said land of Judah. That's what became the slave coast. The same area is where the slave coast happened. But that's the point. Like Wakanda is what Kemet is. It's a fantasy world. So you can believe in we was commissions, we was gods, we was queens, we was this, and you walk around with all this, but you don't want to come out here and face the everyday reality. So when you see that drug dealer, you just let this shit slide. When you know your neighbor down the street is a homosexual, it don't mean nothing to you. You know that child molester is living upstairs above you, you don't say nothing about it. You don't do nothing because you live in a fantasy world, because I don't see nobody addressing it. Outside of
Yesterday,
Israelites,
brother, that's what we did yesterday. Sister Sapphire and another sister. We dealt with
that's
that.
bad.
Molestation.
I'm gonna tell you what's bad about that. Not Sapphire and the sister.
Oh, you
What's
talking about-
bad is that y'all gotta have y'all women do it. When
No,
the
that's
brothers
not
should
true,
be.
brother.
With
That's
that,
not-
shalom.
See, now you're
I
wrong.
had
The program. This for boys, because they do work in the community. For a young man that wants to join you all, give the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, no
Come on,
sweat.
plug it.
Come on,
I
you
was
don't need to
schooled.
miseducate no more young
Hey,
brother.
that's
You
still
the
how
only
much
ones
respect I
that
have for the work they do.
Our school is located 2279 3rd Ave in Harlem, New York. If you want to call us, you hit us up 646-481-6315. We got a prison program. We got a prison program that we go to. Sainetta having his awards. You don't have to vote for me. You don't.
And you know you
You
want
go to
that,
the
man.
Sainetta, you go to the Sainetta TV Award July 7th at the Symphony Space. You can go to his website. Is the website on here to vote?
Sainetta TV Awards.
Sainetta TV Awards to vote. I guess they got people in different categories. You don't have to vote for me, like I said.
Right, but the
This
jail
brother,
program-
yeah, I'm
the
about to
jail
bring him in.
program.
This Captain Zakar, he runs the prison program that we have. You can update that.
We do a lot of outreach for our work for all the prisons, not only in New York, every state in the country. If y'all want any information, y'all can reach out to the isupkpd@gmail.com or give a call at area code 631-644-3373. We send notes, we send books, we go into these prison systems and we teach classes, run services. We ain't forget about our brothers in Chicago doing the work. They doing the work, guys. We got a van service. We got any families that can't afford these crazy prices across the state. Give us a call. We work with you. We do door-to-door service. So we ain't forget our brothers that's locked up in incarceration. We do that real work. We put in that work.
Exactly. You can go to isupk.com. I believe in DC is where we have our GED program. We're working on trying to get it up here in New York. As soon as we can get the 501c3 thing clear, we'll have food programs up there where we can give out food. But we do that already in Philly and DC and Maryland, and we have that everywhere as well. So that's it.
Peace, brother. All right, Captain is on the ground.
Back to work.
Captain is still
I
doing what he do now.